We have a fresh cup of coffee and we're set. Our first segment of the week here on the Morning Brew is always business, and the folks from Albuquerque Business First. Great to be partnering with them. In the big chair here is Dan Mayfield from Albuquerque Business First.
Good morning, guys.
Happy to see you.
Good to see you guys. We missed last time because my last time I was scheduled to be on was a Monday holiday.
That's right.
And we were going to talk about beer and how great the beer industry was, and I was really excited, and then it was a holiday.
Yeah.
But this week we're talking
Holidays.
about something much creepier, though.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's totally creepy. It's net neutrality. And this is the thing that we keep hearing bits and pieces about this. And once I started digging into it, the more worried I got about everything from the startup economy to simply surfing the web and how it could change everything. So basically, over the years, your internet connection has been regulated like your telephone. Every phone call has to go through from your telephone, you know. You're calling your mom, you're calling 911. Doesn't matter if it's going to AT&T or Comcast or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
State law, federal law says it's got to go through. And the internet used to be like that. Now it's not. On January 14th, the FCC had made rules that said it works like a utility. January 14th, however, an appeals court struck down those rules saying the FCC does not have the authority to do that.
Oh.
So what that did was it reverted all of those lines that, yes, Comcast and CenturyLink and everybody else had paid and put in the ground.
Right.
But it reverted that to their control. So now they can control everything that goes on their lines. So if they don't like Netflix, you're not getting Netflix.
Oh.
They don't like Amazon Prime, you're not getting Amazon Prime. And it could come down to, there's giant fears about everything now about what could happen because it's regulated now like your cable TV system. And just like how Comcast can pick and choose what stations, like the Morning Brew, show up on Comcast, they can also now pick and choose which internet sites and which sites even get more traffic or less traffic, which sites get the fast lane, which sites get the slow lane. So if you don't want to play by their rules, in theory, you could get your Netflix slowed down so much that it's unwatchable, and forcing you to go to their own site, or forcing you to go to Amazon Prime.
Advertisers
It could be.
can get a bump or something.
Not even their own advertisers, just the people they end up striking deals with.
Yeah.
And that's all it could be. And that's the great fear right now. It basically turned this into a pay-to-play system.
Right.
The internet is fundamentally different. And nobody's realizing it yet. You know, maybe we'll start realizing once companies start doing hinky things. So far they have not, and they're pledging to not do that.
Yeah, that's what they always do in the beginning.
And that's the giant fear right there.
Power and money do a lot of funny things.
That's it.
I get the dark side of it, but wouldn't it be kind of business suicide to not have Netflix or something popular on your ISP?
I could see there certainly is that point, and that's what the point that local internet companies are making, is they're saying we can easily pledge to make our internet open and not worry about it.
Yeah.
But for a larger company like a Comcast, it might be worth their time anyway to say, you know what? You like Netflix, we can offer you Netflix on the fast lane. We won't give you cannot get Amazon Prime, you cannot get Hulu, you cannot get even NBC.
A bait and switch thing.
Yeah, but you can, kind of, but if you want Netflix, come to us. And then CenturyLink could say, hey, you want Amazon Prime? Fine, we got Amazon Prime fast in our fast lane, and we don't care about Netflix. And by forming partnerships like that, certainly I'm addicted to all of the stuff on Netflix, so
yeah,
I would pay for it to come on the fast lane.
Well, plus if they come out with a new technology and they partner with that company to try to supersede Amazon or any of these video.
Well, you hit on something really big, which is the new 4K video, which is going to be huge when that happens. You know, the new 4K. Have you seen the 4K TVs?
I haven't.
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
Even more amazing than the high def.
It's literally, I think it's twice the resolution of high def.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's like looking out the window. It really is amazing. And they're going to start streaming 4K video now that takes tons of bandwidth. So you sign up for any ISP that's offering that, and they might put that in a slow lane, or you pay more, they put that in a fast lane. Up until now, all of that traffic has been considered neutral. Doesn't matter. All those little data packets, they just travel left and right, back and forth. No one cared. But under the new rules, they have the ability now to do that. And we don't know how it's going to shake out, but it's certainly scary. Local startups are really worried now, because what if you start that new company that is a high bandwidth company? You know, you are the community access television station that tries to stream high access video, and say, you know what, sorry, tough luck, we got YouTube. We're not going to put your site on, we got YouTube. They could do that, and that's the fear. We don't know yet. And the hard part with a lot of it is so future. We don't know yet exactly what's going to happen.
What's amazing is I have never even heard about that yet. So it seems like they
been
kind
a
of sneaked
big
it under
deal.
the rug.
Yes and no. You know, all the tech magazines and all the business magazines erupted in
Okay.
January, mid-January, when these rules were struck down.
Yeah.
You know, and all of the, front page of the New York Times, front page Wall Street Journal, it was a big deal. And then nobody really knew what it meant. And we still don't really know.
What's going to happen,
And it's just scary. So I wanted to just take a real deep dive and write this story about what could happen. And the local ISPs seem to be in really in the driver's seat right now, because the grander fear is that the people with the most money, the Comcasts, the CenturyLinks, the Time Warners of the world, who are the largest ISPs, will form the biggest partnerships with the biggest websites.
Right.
And some might get locked out from offering services. Local ISPs, more than happy to make the internet neutral and have every piece of data the same way, and it doesn't matter to them. So they're probably going to be in the driver's seat on this. And if nothing else, they might even be able to provide faster service to local websites, which might even be better.
Check
Who knows?
the story in this week's Albuquerque Business First.
Absolutely.
Very, very interesting.
It's a pretty deep dive into something that no one has really explained locally yet, so thanks.
I want to switch it up and talk
Yes.
about P&M and the
Yes.
CEO, Pat.
We had a chance to sit down with her. You know her.
Yeah, I've known her a long time.
And she's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
And first time we had a chance to really sit down with Pat Vincent-Colon in a long time. And I'd forgotten how much fun she is, and also all of the really amazing things P&M is doing this year. They're trying to shut down the power plant up at Four Corners right now and build another natural gas plant, also bringing on a lot more solar, wind, and the state's first geothermal, utility scale geothermal plant.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
It's cool. It
Yeah.
just opened 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. It's really awesome. And so P&M has all of this stuff on their plate, and we had a chance to really sit down and talk to Pat about all of her plans going forward in 2014, and also why she loves her BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Nobody has BlackBerries anymore except her, and she says it's because
That's okay.
she loves the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is the
funny.
tactile thing of that.
I have a few friends that are still like stuck with the keyboard, and they're like,
Right.
I can't switch. I can't get used to that other thing.
That's it.
Come on, guys.
Once you get used to it, you're never going back. But
She's very down to earth, and
Absolutely.
she can do the corporate
yes,
CEO thing, but she's
Yes.
really a very pleasant, down to earth person.
absolutely. Well, she's a journalist by background as
Right.
well,
Right.
and that was how she got into the marketing and then the rest of the business. And so I think she brings those communication skills to a utility, which is rare. Most utility people are not communicators, and it's nice to meet someone who can explain, kind of in regular terms, what a lot of the really intense language and that they have to deal with in the utility world.
Right.
Distributed generation is not an easy thing to understand, but Pat can tell you what it means in 2 sentences.
I don't follow the stock at all, but P&M is one of our own very
Absolutely.
few publicly traded companies. Are they
it.
doing well?
They're doing fine, actually. Yeah, their market cap now is, I think it's 1.2 billion, if I remember right.
It's a nice sized
And
company.
it's a great size company. And they do
Yeah.
business here and in Texas. They own the generation, they own the lines. It's completely vertically integrated. It's a wonderful company that way. But it's also incredibly regulated. State, federal, city, municipal. I mean, there's everything from the franchise fees they pay to lay a line to your house underneath city streets, all the way up to the fees they pay on the lines across the state, to the even to the $650 million, almost $700 million they have to spend to revamp the plant in Four Corners. I mean, all this stuff, everything has to
Incredible.
be. It is. Well, you know, when you're running a utility, it makes perfect sense, at least in a state like New Mexico, that you want to make sure they're not gouging the customers.
Yeah.
And so they're allowed to make a certain percentage on that. And so you can't have them make more than that or less than that. It's always a fight to figure out how much that is, and that's why they have rate cases at the PRC every so often. It's always fascinating stuff to watch. So
A couple of complex but very important stories in
Each is
Albuquerque
finished week.
Business First. Check it out online or the print version. It's very, very interesting
Looks like a
stuff.
very fun conversation
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Just reading this last sentence.
Dan, always fun to have you.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you guys.
thank you so much.
All right, Dan Mayfield with Albuquerque Business First. Master networker Stacy Sacco is next. Do you want to meet the CEOs? He'll tell you how after this.